Okay, thank you for joining us today in celebration of our National Consumer Protection Week, which is something nationally. There's a lot of organizations here in Cleveland that are providing some different things for our consumers for this. The Better Business Bureau has got a few different things that we have going on, and one of them are these quick tip webinars that we've got for you. And today is about our records retention schedule. So I know many of you, whether it be at home or at work, have stacks of papers that you know have important information on it that maybe you don't want to just throw in the trash, but you want to make sure you dispose of them securely, but you're not really sure which things you need to keep for how long. And so we're just going to kind of go over this really quickly so that you can get a good idea of which items you should have kept and which ones you can go ahead and have shredded or get rid of them securely. So the things that you need to keep for just 1 year are things like purchase orders, stockroom withdrawal forms, receiving sheets, stenographers, notebooks, things like that. You just need to keep those for 1 year. Things for 2 years would be bank reconciliations, correspondences, duplicate deposit slips, things like that. Going on to 3 years, you would want to keep bank statements, employment applications, internal audit reports, insurance policies that are expired, internal reports, petty cash vouchers, any actual inventory tags that you have, any sales commission reports. Going back 6 years then, there are some bank statements that you would want to keep for those, or credit card statements. Of course, you don't need to keep all the pieces, just the final sheet. 7 years, some of the things that they tell you should keep around for 7 years are accident reports with claims that have been settled, accounts payable and receivable ledgers and schedules, canceled checks unless it's for some of your major payments, expired contracts and leases, garnishments, inventories, invoices, notes receivable and schedules, expired option reports, payroll records, just the summaries there, the personal files of terminated employees, and plant cost ledgers. Also in the 7 years would be purchase department copy purchase orders, sales records, scrap and salvage records, canceled stocks and bond certificates, subsidiary ledgers, time book cards, voucher registers, voucher for payments to vendors and employees, withholding tax statements, and canceled stocks and bond certificates. And I know these are a lot of lists that we are more than able to send you this PowerPoint afterwards if you wanted to take a look at it more closely. Now, before you're getting ready to dispose of some of these things, you need to stop and really think about the things that you do not want to get rid of, especially for your personal items for you at home. Obviously, you know, your birth certificates, your marriage, death, divorce, adoption, all of those certificates that you have, legal papers that you have set somewhere important, hopefully. There are important correspondences, legal documents, any audit reports that you have from your CPAs, any trust documents, any of your property documents, your house deeds, your mortgage, anything like that, even for homes that you previously owned, as well as the ones that you own right now. Any car notes, any records about your pension, retirement, your IRA contributions. Of course, your will, you would not want to dispose of that. And then, your final sheet of your tax returns, and any existing insurance records you have for the final year-end records. These are some more of the things that you want to make sure that you don't accidentally mix in with your other papers for your business. Would be audit reports, cash books, charts of accounts, contracts, that things for mortgages maybe for your business, building, any notes or leases that are still in effect for your leases, legal documents, and legal correspondence, any bill of sale for any large items for your company, any depreciation schedules, your overall financial statement, and insurance records, any current accident reports or claims that you have right now. Also, if there's any property records, any patents that you have, any papers that are related to any patents that your business might have, minutes of books of the directors, stockholders, the bylaws, the charter, the main one copy of those that you need to keep, the tax returns for your business and the worksheets to fill them out, the trademark registration and copyrights if you've got any of those. You'll always want to have a copy of the training manual, and any union agreements if you happen to have a union. And then, we're talking about Consumer Protection Week, and that means that we want to make sure that all of these papers are held securely. We've got some important information on it, and any of these things that you think that you could dispose of, you want to make sure that you dispose of them securely. So you want to follow some of these guidelines. Shred statements and applications in the mail if they're things that you don't want to keep. You need to cut up expired credit cards and debit cards and dispose of those. Protect your social security number, your account numbers, your passwords. Any information that has those on there, you want to make sure that you shred them and you're not just leaving them around or sharing them with anybody. You need to make sure that all of your personal documents, the things that we talked about previously that you need to keep, make sure that you have them in a secure place at home, or if you've got them at work, I'm sure you've got a secure place for them there also. We do suggest you monitor your bank and your credit card statements, watch any activity that's going on, and minimize the information that you put on your checks, and then back up the information on your computer from your computer, and then store it away from your computer somewhere, and that will help to keep you secure. Now that you've gone through all of your papers and you've figured out which things you could get rid of, you probably need to have them securely shredded. We have a Secure Your ID Day. It is a free shredding event. We do these twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. The spring one is Saturday, April 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we're doing that along with our co-sponsors, Rad Air Complete Car Care and Tire Centers, and the two locations that are going to have trucks out there for free shredding are the one in Parma Heights, which is at 6565 Pearl Road, and the one in Solon, which is 6221 Som Center Road. And you can bring up to 3 bags or boxes out, and it's completely free to have those items shred. You can watch us put them in the buckets and put them right into the truck and know that it has been taken care of. If you can't make it out to one of those 2 events, check with your local community, the library. They should have some information. Sometimes the community will have a shred day, or they may have a spot where they do shredding in smaller amounts here and there. So once you've maybe cleaned everything out, taken everything to one of these big shredding events and gotten your all your boxes cleaned out, then maybe as you go you could find a spot through your community where you could shred your items a little at a time. So I hope that that helped. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask them now. I also, as I mentioned, this list was kind of cumbersome and long, so if you would like the PowerPoint sent to you, I can definitely do that, and then as you're looking through things, you'll be able to look back and decide which items you needed to keep and for how long, or which things that you could go ahead and shred. So let me just see here. It doesn't look like we have any questions. If there are any questions that should arise later, go ahead and email us and we'll get those answered for you. And again, thank you for joining us for our Consumer Protection Week webinars, and we've got a couple more coming up for the rest of this week. If you'd like to join us, please go ahead and take a peek. I know we've got one on Friday that deals with how to dispose of your things like your computer, your hard drive, your cell phones, how to make sure that those are cleaned off and how to securely dispose of those so that you're not passing on any important information that might be stored in those. If you have any questions about that, go ahead and give us an email, and thank you for joining us.